Look, man.
Where?
Oh, I see.
Wow.
Oh my. Bowen, look over there.
Wow, is that
culture? Yes.
my goodness.
Oh,
Wow.
Yeah. Las Culturistas.
Ding dong, Las Culturistas calling. Ace is sniffing my little shoe.
We are visited once again
By the mascot, the king.
by a dog, the King Ace. He's got a
He's got
little bit
star
of a
quality.
new cut and star quality. We were told that when we began the episode, he may make an entrance, and look who is here. But he's not the only person here.
Oh, there's a gentleman of another gentleman of great repute and renown.
Yeah.
I think he's Gay Ang Lee for the versatility in his work.
That's really major. To
Know
be
what I mean?
Gay Ang Lee.
Well, I was going through it. I was like, oh, sure, big musical, Nicholas Sparks adaptation,
Yeah.
fucking airplane-esque drag comedy. Like this, what can't the man do?
I have to say, so
The gayest thing is to make a Nicholas Sparks movie.
yeah. And speaking of that one, so I remember, this is the way I describe my interactions with the film A Walk to Remember when I was a kid. Sometimes I would play it just to see how much I could cry.
Right.
You know, it's like when you're a little gay boy.
I don't
The
think it's
Rooster
that,
Projects. Just kidding. That's
RuPaul.
when you are a little gay boy and you just want to push yourself to like an emotional limit.
Yeah.
But you need like a gay dramatic excuse. For me, it was watching Mandy Moore die in a film.
Right. And was it? And did you run to the bathroom to the mirror?
Spoiler alert. Of course. Oh, yeah. What are tears if you can't see them in the mirror? It's actually Roller Coaster number 7. What are tears if you can't see them in the mirror?
You know, Dane Cook has a great joke about that.
What does he say?
Well,
Because he has a lot of great jokes. Bring him back.
Bring him back. BK Lounge.
Come on.
No, he has. I think it was like it's his third album or whatever. It was like, you know, you just every time you cry, you just gotta go to the fucking mirror and just watch yourself.
See, I like that about Dane Cook. He's man enough to admit he's gay.
Yeah.
And that's Roller Coaster number 11. So that's why I like Dan Cook.
Dan Cook, man enough to admit he's gay.
He's gay. Sorry.
Sufai's pretty gay.
God didn't want me to make that joke. So he stopped me right in the middle. He made me say Dan Cook at my mouth.
Speaking of God, can I talk about my experience with The Walk to
Go on
Remember?
now.
Wore that DVD out, and I told Manny this, but the commentary
You stay mentioning the commentary.
Adam, of our guest, Shane West, Mandy Moore, the three of them having a blast, barely talking about the movie, just every few minutes going, oh, there's Daryl Hannah in a wig, and then just going on and on. Oh my God, wait! Walk to Remember has one of the great oneers. Oneer in the beginning.
Talk about the oneer.
Well, it's just one take in the first.
I know, but which one? I don't remember it. It's been a second.
It's when they go to that, cement factory or whatever, or just right, and then they get that kid. The reason why Landon gets suspended or gets in trouble, has to go.
Right. The inciting.
The inciting.
So what?
Not the inciting, just
it was a good
opening image.
It's a
whatever.
good one or whatever. What the fuck?
Stop save the cat.
Persecuting
Fuck
us
off.
and to stop making us get everything right all the time. This is a podcast that gets a little messy.
It's a prison now.
It gets a little messy sometimes.
Oh God.
Anyway, it's great that our guest is here to talk about the 24th anniversary of A Walk to Remember.
And
Just
nothing else.
kidding. Stop That Train is a film that is an experience. I would just go ahead as to say you can't be on enough of an edible to get yourself together, watch this movie. I am in it. I do play the press secretary. I am honored to live in a world where RuPaul is the president of the United States in this film.
Judy
Gagwell. Yeah.
Stupid fucking name.
I get to do all sorts of shenanigans with Rue. We went to the premiere and saw the movie. Melissa and I, we screamed. It has so many incredible people in the cast giving great performances. Jujubee and Ginger Minj are the stars. By the way, we are the #1 Jujubee fans.
Absolutely. And
that was a big reason why we became friends, actually, as close as we were.
We were the Jujubee in Pandora.
Yes.
Oh no, Jujubee and Raven. I'm sorry.
Jujubee
we love
and
Pandora.
Raven.
We love Pandora Box.
Okay, so
we
anyway,
are the Juju and Raven.
But yeah, our guest is the best. Also directed, I don't know, Hairspray. Come on.
Fuck. If anything, the Culture Awards this year was just an Adam Shankman sort of love letter. We had Brittany Snow.
We were just talking about that. And Malin Ackerman from Rock of Ages. Underrated. I don't care what anyone says.
Mandy Moore herself.
Yes.
And RuPaul and Miss RuPaul
Miss
herself.
RuPaul herself.
The new muse.
Yeah.
The new Shankman muse. The new Shank muse. I hope to be a Shank muse one day.
I'm ready to bring the Shankman in, so that you can hopefully become the Shank Muse by the end of the episode.
All right, everyone, please welcome the gay Ang Lee. Adam Shankman.
Do you like gay Ang Lee as a title of ep?
How about gangly?
Gangly. Not gangly like a guy.
No.
Gangly.
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 Did they call you that in school? There's
Prison. Yeah. That was my prison.
What? You must have had a blast in
What
prison.
prison did you graduate from?
Not enough time.
Not enough time.
No.
Prison. I have nothing to add about prison. I'm gonna get in trouble.
You just said that this podcast
This
has become
podcast
a
is a
prison.
prison.
It's a prison. We have tons
it's
of experience.
a golden prison. It's
a gilded cage.
It is a gilded cage, as it were.
Do you-
podcasting magnificence.
Yes.
Do you remember that when I met you, you were doing a podcast?
I was. We met. All of this whole manifestation of coming and being on this podcast right now is really pretty intense.
Okay.
For reasons beyond the fact that I am a slavish listener. I do not miss. I had to actually, when I heard John Waters say my name, when you guys talked about me with John Waters, I had to pull over and I started crying.
No.
I couldn't believe it, and and every time I hear you guys mention one of the things that I've done or one of the people I've worked with, I'm like, oh God, what's happening
love
right
you.
now?
What do you mean? That's still news to you?
But it is news to me because I live in a very small world. I live in a very tiny life. I really do. But Matt and I met when I was doing a podcast. RuPaul had me on
What's the Tea?
On What's the Tea, and we shot it in a little hotel room on Robertson in some weird little hotel does that even exist anymore?
I don't
hotel?
know, but I can't remember what it was. But I remember I was told to go there.
To this weird hotel.
I knocked on the door, they let me in, and RuPaul is mid-podcast with Adam Shankman, and I sat in the room to wait for them to finish because I was going on after.
And yeah,
Surreal.
Well,
that's crazy.
But
Yeah.
I feel like we had
four
to
of you
sit
were-
on the bed.
I was sitting on the bed while you guys were finishing.
Into director's chairs or something, and it was.
It's an even crazier story though. So earlier that day, I met RuPaul for the first time because this is tea. Imagine was doing a reboot of Star Booty.
And Matt was attached to develop
write it.
and write it.
You're fucking
This guy.
hole right now.
I
Are you
literally
serious?
earlier that day I
Shut.
brought my 12-page treatment in for Star Booty. I had a meeting with RuPaul because Imagine picked my treatment that they liked the best. I sit down, I walk in, RuPaul comes in, and obviously look statuesque, gorgeous. This is it's RuPaul. And I go, RuPaul, how are you? And RuPaul goes, I don't see how that is any of your business.
Classic Ru line.
And
Classic chestnut.
I looked him in the eye and I said, you're right, and I should fuck off. And he goes, ha 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 ha. And that's when because I knew how to talk to him because of the show. But we hit it off, and he invited me on the podcast. I was nobody, and I walk in, and there's you, a director that we have always loved.
Oh,
Seriously.
Jesus Christ, that makes me sound old, but great.
Oh,
No, but
stop
what?
it.
Shut the fuck up.
Well, you fucking shut up.
you.
Shut the
Fuck
fuck
you.
up.
This has turned come
This
down
has been
so
a- this has
quickly.
become a
I
prison.
knew
This
that
is
exactly that this is where this was all headed. Of
course it was.
But yes, we met them, but then I forgot about you completely.
Yes, 100%.
And you existed in no part of my brain. And then during the pandemic, during lockdown, I had been in a long 13-year relationship that ended about 2 weeks into lockdown. Yeah. And I was alone. I had no pod, no bubble, no anything. And so all my relationships were being kept alive both on
Social media.
somewhat not so much on social media, but it was podcasts and Zooms.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was podcasts and Zooms, and I had the greatest Zoom club ever with the greatest people ever. Which I don't know. Do you know about this weird thing?
Yeah. Oh, he has famous game night. Zooms
The
and,
Academy Award winning trivia contest thing.
These people are the hardest core game players in
Do you not know
Hollywood.
about that? It was pretty.
I've heard.
And we would get together every week on Friday. We on Zoom. We would have watched a movie, the Oscar-winning Best Pictures, starting from the very beginning.
From Wings?
From
Wow.
Wings. And then, so this is how we occupied ourselves. But when we'd get on the Zoom, we'd do a trivia contest. And whoever was hosting that week, we'd rotate who was the host of that, would ask the trivia questions, and we'd give a prize at the end, which there's a whole other weird story about this. But what started happening, we started showing up on the Zoom in costume as either somebody from or something from the movie.
Fun.
Incredible.
And the pictures that I have, because we have them all, Melissa and Ben as the box of chocolates from Forrest Gump is one of the craziest things. Wait, Amy Adams for Patton built a Sherman tank out of Amazon boxes, like and things like that.
Crafty
And it was,
queen.
it was all crafty. Everything was just anything we could find around our house. I was in terms of endearment, I was the portrait. I was the Renoir.
Oh my God.
Wow.
So I had
Was anyone the shot?
But no.
I'm in awe.
It was crazy.
You guys got all the way up to the 90s? No.
We did them all. We had to add that. We kept going after the pandemic.
Oh my
Because we liked it so
God.
much, including while everybody was in different countries filming. Like Melissa and Ben were in Australia doing Non-Perfect, and then she was doing Ursula at one point.
Still
I was
committed.
we were all doing
Still,
it.
wow.
We would find our time zones. While I was doing Disenchanted, I was in Dublin doing it, and I was
my
in
God.
drag as Velma for Chicago. Like it was fucking crazy. Anyway,
Wow.
greatest time. But during that period, I started to realize that I have no gay friends.
No.
And
Just
I
Hollywood
started-
A-list actresses.
Yeah, exactly.
Just the women they worship.
That was that. I had I guess my life had really shrunk into kind of the business and my family and my friends growing up. And I started listening to you guys and Stradio and Keep It.
Yes.
And I one day, what had happened is you guys became like my friends because I had no one else other than my Zoom friends who were dressed as the hand from Jaws in the sand, you know.
That's a good pull too.
And she and I had this weird thing come over me where I thought, what if I DM these people who I don't know? I don't know if they're going to know who I am. If not, I'm just going to say something nice to them because I am so grateful for their company. And so I DM'd both of you. I DM'd Lewis and Ira. I DM'd that. And I just went like, hi, I'm Adam. I don't know if you, I just want to tell you, thank you so much. You know, I love your pod and it's really helping me during the lockdown. And you guys got back to me.
Yes.
Very enthusiastically.
And that's how this started.
Yeah.
And now it's like, and now I'm sitting here.
And then I feel like we're always hitting each other up just to check in and say hey.
We do. I mean, I've talked to you. I've come to you when there's been boy problems. I've been.
Oh, I know.
About this
I
stuff.
love running into you, turning it on the floor at Hollywood Equinox. This man, if you want to find him, you might just find him choreographing the next RuPaul's Drag Race mega mix on the floor at Hollywood Equinox. He don't care who's watching.
This is the
Well,
time.
let's now tease my keep it.
You're gonna do here.
I'm gonna do here. Yeah.
I mean, this is another thing that people.
Yeah, my keep it just turned into an I don't think so, honey.
I always forget that you're dancer down.
Oh, yeah.
You are,
I
and
was,
you,
yeah.
you taught John M. Chu everything he knows.
Step up, John M. True.
I am so proud of that man who I still think of as a boy because I remember
He's
when
boyish.
he came in
He
for
does.
I remember when he first came into the office. That was a crazy thing. When we were doing Step Up 2, which was his first movie, was supposed to go straight to video. And he came in and met with us. And I was like, I'd been reading about this guy forever in the trades as being, the next this and the next that. And he was attached to all these projects. And then he came in to meet with us on this straight to video sequel to Step Up, which I was like, isn't he too fancy for this? This is crazy. And he came in and he said, no, I love dancing. And to be honest, I can't get any of those movies made. And I want to do this. this seems like it would be great for me.
Because it was a dance IP
It was a
that was
dance
going to get
IP,
made.
and he was really, really into the dancers. He was friends with all the dancers. And so we hired him, and I sat there and watched that man blossom in front of me. And then when 3D happened, I was like, you've lost your mind. What is this movie that you're
Step
making?
Up 3D.
Yes,
Yeah,
yes.
it's
wow.
crazy. And I produced all those movies. But I was so proud of him, and his passion for filmmaking is actually sort of equal, I would say, from a director standpoint, to what Tom Cruise is for acting.
Wow, just this undiscriminating love for it.
Yeah.
Like that's perfect. Like John coming in to be like, I can't even it's not even about getting the things that he wants made. It's just that he wants to do it because this thing will get made, and that is the perfect sort of thing. It's like this, like Matt and I are even talking about this now, where we're just like, you know what? When we take out our stuff, let's just make sure it gets made. That's the most important thing.
He also has something so different than me. Like I can barely say the names of my own movies. I don't have, my relationship with my own work is very stressful.
Yes.
And whereas his is not. He really truly loves his
He
stuff,
lives it,
and
eats it, breathes it, snorts it, fucks it.
Sitting watching him watch Wicked was almost as good as Wicked.
That man loves Wicked, and I love it
It's
so
so
much.
cool.
It's really something.
Yep.
I was like, I'll never like it as much as him.
So to contrast,
it was amazing.
Well, because so to contrast that, before we got on the mic, you were saying, I was like, I can't wait to see Stop That Train, June 12th. You're like, I will still never watch my own work, and I was about to ask you, well, what was the last thing of yours that you watched? And can you now answer that question?
Yeah. I've seen 2 of my movies since I made them.
Okay.
Wow.
One was and by the way, all the way through, because sometimes my movies will be on TV when I have my TV. My TV just runs in my house, and sometimes I'll see something and I'll change the channel. If I see something that I've made.
Yep.
Bringing Down the House comes on. You're turning off the TV.
Bringing Down the House. I just put my hand over my mouth and I put that because
what did we do?
No, I was like, I can't.
Come on.
That's actually one of the few movies that I've made that I quote, but I don't quote it from. Well, I would quote it from my memory of making it,
but not from the cut,
not from a thing. But I can't believe that movie could never get made today. There is no way.
What's a beautiful time capsule.
And it was, I mean, Steve Martin is running around that club and acting like a rapper at the end with Joan Plowright smoking in the black club and smoking a doobie. And it was crazy. Anyway, Jeannie Smart. We had Steve Smart. I mean, Missy Pyle. I mean, that is
Love Missy.
Another Shank Muse.
By the way,
that is a big
Missy
Shank
Pyle basically steals the movie in her scenes.
Course, she
Stop
steals
That Train.
every movie.
Movie. But say the 2 movies that you've seen.
Okay, the 2 movies that I've seen was when I was, and I have no problem talking about this, when I was, because it was in the news plenty, when I went to rehab 12 and a half years ago, on New Year's Eve, by the way, there's very few things that are as depressing as New Year's Eve in rehab. And I was in a lovely rehab, but it's still pretty grim.
Of course.
And everybody wants to, is going all the things that we can't do, but we're
on New Year's Eve.
Yeah. And mourning all the New Year's Eve pasts and all the things, which, by the way, nobody remembered any of them.
Yeah.
So it was, it's rehab.
Right.
And there was about 12 of us there, and at 8 the celebrations were over.
Yeah.
And because they gave we had a nice dinner and then whatever, and so we go into the common room, and there's a big TV in there, and we turned it on, and Walk to Remember was starting.
Oh.
And by the way, none of them knew what I did for a living.
Oh.
And I said, so I went, maybe we don't watch this. And everyone, no, we love this movie. And that was the first time I was like, wait, what? And then, Walk to Remember. Anyway, they were like, no, we love this movie like that. And I said, guys, please. And this one girl who was really, really tough, who had the word tramp tattooed on the inside of her lip.
She had an inner lip
tramp
tramp lip
stamp.
like
Icon.
that.
I hope she becomes president.
And she was hiding from the law in rehab. That was her father had put there, and he was he was waiting to smuggle her to Mexico. He was waiting to get her out to smuggle her to Mexico.
But first we had to get her nice and clean.
Well, it's like they're never going to look
there.
at rehab.
Yeah.
So we're in there, and she busts in. She goes, "Don't touch that fucking dial. This is my favorite movie." And I was like, okay. So I sat there, and then it said Adam Shankman in the credits. And people sort of turned and looked at me, and I shrugged. And then nobody said anything. And then everybody turned to look at the TV. And I sat and I watched the movie. And it was hard for me to watch. But then there was a moment where I sort of dropped in and I was just aware of what it was about and the message. And I started to pay attention to that part of it and what was going on scene by scene. And afterwards I went I think I'm really proud that that's the story I told and that I put that out in the world. And I can criticize myself and my work and the craft behind it, which was my second movie. I didn't know what the fuck I was doing. And I can remembering the scene where she's standing on both, in two places at the same time.
I was just quoting that to someone.
We shot that in 20 minutes, that whole scene. And I think because Mandy was a minor and her time was done, she was about to pumpkin. And so we ran into that spot, turned the car lights on and just shot that. I kept going, now run, now turn the camera, and like that. And that's how that scene happened. It happened in 20 minutes.
Indelible scene I've ever forgotten.
And I've always thought that scene was really, really sweet.
It's one of the most romantic things to me that's ever been in a fictional film.
So I felt really good about having made that. I'll never watch it again, but I would. But I felt good about making it.
What's the second one? Unless you want to keep talking about this.
No, it's fine.
Because that rehab story is incredible, by the way.
I can't believe you didn't say anything beforehand.
I didn't know what to say.
Of course.
I was like, we don't like in the therapies there it's not like we sat around and talked about our jobs.
Right.
So it was.
But it was just already an emotional night because it was New Year's.
Yeah.
And you're with all these people.
And I was already an anarchist there anyway. It's like I made them celebrate Christmas when they weren't supposed to celebrate Christmas. And
that's the most anarchist thing you could do.
Yeah,
it's
pure
Jewish
anarchy.
the Christmas, Adam the Christmas
Jewish wanting
Jew.
Christmas.
This is
Adam
cultural
the Christmas Jew.
anarchy.
And then the other one was somebody I was dating really twisted my arm and said they had never seen Hairspray and they wanted to watch it with me.
Oh, wow.
And I just went, I said there's some ground rules.
Yeah.
Can't talk during it.
Yeah, don't ask me questions.
Don't ask me questions during it. Number one.
Great rule.
Number two, you will see my face twisting probably because I will be having some reaction. Because my memory of making that movie is so precious to me and so glorious. And it was the absolute best time of my life making it. And so then I was like, I'm scared of how I'm going to feel about it today.
Totally.
And I said, just please don't ask me questions. And then if you want to know something afterwards, you're going to have to let me process it because I know that it's a loud movie. It's there's a lot going on in it.
Stimulating.
It's a very stimulating movie. I mean, that was the intent. And so we sat and I watched it and it was sometimes painful. And then sometimes I was really proud of the kids particularly. And then I was sort of stunned at how little dialogue there is in it. I was like, I didn't even remember how little dialogue there is in it.
It's almost a sung through.
It's
an opera.
It's an opera.
Hairspray is an opera.
Yes, the rule of culture number 7.
Hairspray is an opera.
Yeah.
It's the second rule of culture number 7 of the day. That's a good sign. Means we're not thinking about the numbers. We're just flowing. So what was that about it though? Was it just that it was your opportunity to direct I guess what is commonly known as one of the modern great musicals? It's an opportunity to take something to this screen.
What do you mean? My wanting my directing?
I guess
it?
when you talk about how that was like the peak, like that was like a wonderful, incredible, like magical time making that movie, I would imagine it was because it's the opportunity to totally blow out like one of the great modern musicals.
I had never made a movie with dancing really in it, and dancing was my background. I come from theater and choreography, and I'm a dancer and whatever.
Yeah.
And so it was sort of strange that it was my 5th movie, and that I had made the other 4 movies without including any big dance, and it was sort of notable, at least in my head, that my whole life had been dance up until I started directing, and then it was no dance. And then so this was kind of, if I was going to do it, it was that. I had an emotional connection with it because when Mark Shankman and Scott Whitman were writing it, I would be at their summer house, and I was around while they were writing it. I was listening to Jennifer Lewis sing demos.
Oh wow, yeah, she
I
was singing the originals.
Mabel, yeah.
Wow.
And I was aware of it. I went to the opening night in Seattle when it was out of town tryouts.
Oh wow.
Mark and Scott are 2 of my closest friends.
Yeah.
And so I had a lot of Hairspray in me. Plus, I was a crazy fan of John Waters' version.
Yes.
And so all of it was
A perfect combination of all these things. Yeah.
Of all these things. So when I have a story you're gonna like. When it happened, it took a long time for them to actually end up coming to me, and they had gone with some other people, and then those people didn't work out, and some stuff happened, and I'd been really hurt because I really wanted to do it, and then I was really, really close, and then I didn't, and it was the first movie I'd really fought for, and it was really hard because 2 of my best friends had written it, so it was emotionally fraught, and and when I finally got it, this was so crazy. I was in Baltimore shooting the first Step Up.
Wow.
Which was my best friend, Ann Fletcher, who directed the first Step Up. It was her first film, and I was producing it.
Yep.
And was it the first movie I produced? Anyway, I can't even remember. Anyway, so we were there. I'm in Baltimore, and I get a call saying, like, it's you. We want you to direct Hairspray. And I sort of took it in, and I was like, okay. And I said, can somebody get me John Waters' email? Because I want to send him an email. There wasn't really, I don't remember doing a lot of texting back then,
Right.
whatever, in the early aughts. So somebody sent me John's thing, and I wrote him an email, and all the email said was, "Dear Mr. Waters, my name is Adam Shankman, and I've been hired to direct the new version of the musical of Hairspray. I hope you don't mind. Best, Adam Shankman."
Oh, wow.
And he wrote me back within 3 minutes and said, "This is so fabulous. Where are you?" And I said, "Well, weirdly, I'm in Baltimore." And this is all over email. And he said, "Fabulous. Can we have lunch tomorrow?"
Oh.
And I froze. I was like panic stricken. But of course I was like, in my freezing, my fingers were at least unfrozen enough to write the word, yeah. And we had lunch the next day. And I'm still processing that I'm making the movie. And I'm sitting with John Waters, and he's just telling me, "Oh, it's going to be fabulous and fabulous." And I was like, look, I'm really nervous because there's your version and the fans of your version, and then there's the fans of the musical.
Yeah.
And it's a really, those are really intense fan bases.
Yes.
And they're going to have a bullseye on me, and or a target on me. And he said, "Oh, fuck everybody. The whole tradition of Hairspray, do what you do. You're fabulous. You just do you."
Yeah.
And I really took that in.
Yeah.
And then he said, and I believe I'd had a couple glasses of wine because I was very nervous. And he said, "Do you want to go see where I shot the movie?" And I went, "Yeah." And so we jump in his giant crazy boat of a car at the time, which was convertible. And it was the summer, and he drove me around all the locations where he shot the movie. And then he was like, "Want to see where the real people lived that I based it on?" And I said, "Yeah." And he took me around to that. And then he said, "It's so cool." And then he said, "Want to come over to my house?"
Wow.
And I was like, "Yeah." And I had this full day with John,
So cool.
steeped in, the legitimate lore of Hairspray.
Yep.
And it all felt very lovely. It was really like it was just like he blessed me doing the movie, and so I took it very, very seriously, and I spent a lot, and I was very, very careful about like choreographing it and how I was going to do everything, and I was very, very, I was in that. Yeah.
Can I say something about this?
Yeah.
That I think kind of tries to connect all these things together. I think John Waters is a director who does not really care about the outcome. And I think that is a really liberating thing that I don't think I'm trying to work towards. I think because we are in a business that treats accomplishment in a very specific way, you can look at accomplishment either in an outcomes-centered way or in a skill and mastery centered way.
Mm-hmm.
And the outcome-centered way means that you think, well, if this, depending on whatever outcome, it will determine my worth as a person.
Mm-hmm.
And then the sort of skills-centered way to think about it is, let me do this so that I can get better at this thing just to see.
Mm-hmm.
Which is, that's an oversimplification, right?
It's not really an oversimplification. I think sometimes oversimplifications are just the truth.
Sure.
It's just the basic
Totally.
truth. And that is true.
Hey, Bowen, point of order. It feels like nothing is what it says it is anymore.
Point of answer, it's because everything has a catch.
Hey, or it turns out to be something else entirely.
Like a total catfish situation.
Exactly, Bo.
Except for hotels.com.
Yeah, that one's pretty literal.
Because it's hotels.com. It's in the domain. You go there, you book hotels, hundreds of thousands of them.
And hold up, that's it?
That's it. And when stays are booked as a member, rewards are earned every time.
Every stay?
Every stay, no tracking or managing, just rewards that can be used like cash on future bookings.
Which, by the way, already feels nicer than most rewards programs. Okay.
Yeah, members can also get up to 20% off bookings, so savings start right away.
Does that mean no weird restrictions?
And no blackout dates. Book what works when it works. It's actually really fitting of real travel.
So the name is honest, you're saying? And the rewards are too.
Exactly. Hotels.com. It's all in the name.
And I feel like John Waters is someone who I feel like had this incredible development as a director where he evolved so seamlessly from one thing into the next, even though it's such a wide breadth of work. Like,
While staying very him.
exactly. And I feel like, and like as you probably heard in his interview with us, it's like he was just like, yeah, whatever. Like the trades hated it, whatever. I think, I would imagine that while you have a hard time watching your own work, I think it's because you are watching it from a skills, even though you're thinking about the outcomes. Hairspray was a huge success. Many of your movies are huge successes, and I hope the same is true for Stop That Train. But I feel like you should look back on your work, or just, I don't know, talk about it with us or with friends or fans, whatever, in terms of you sort of furthering your skill as a director.
Well, that's actually how. Thank you. That's very kind, and that's how I feel. Because first of all, it feels really nice just sitting with my friends and talking.
Yes.
But I feel very strongly that I haven't gotten good enough at what I do, and like I have so far to go.
You should always
and I have
feel like
that,
I have
way.
so many stories in me.
That's
and
beautiful.
I have. But it has nothing to do with having like some drum to beat. It's just like there's just a lot. There's a lot to do, and yes, I can get on a set, and I definitely know how it works, and I know what I do well, which is actually get us through a day. And
I was going to say that was
yeah.
that was a lot of my experience on Stop That Train too, because you can imagine, and part of its charm
Yes.
is the fact that it is very low budget.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? What was it? 22 days?
19.
19
Wow,
day shoot.
what?
Yeah,
With
19.
with about approximately 7,000 cast members. And like a lot of considerations that obviously the vast majority of the cast is getting into full drag.
That's right.
You know what I mean? Like many locations, quote unquote,
Yes,
lots going on. And it really, honestly, when we were shooting it, like you were just like, yep, great, this is great. And you were just so confident in moving on. I remember I turned to you and I was like, you feel good? And he was like, I wouldn't move on if I didn't.
Yeah.
And I was like, you're right. I shouldn't have even fucking asked. And I actually felt like a dipshit for asking. Because I'm like, of course he knows to move on.
No, I understand. But if you have a feeling, it's valid. Like,
I guess my thing is I just want it, but it's probably the same thing, right? It's like you want to do a good job. You want to make sure that you made the use of that time. But I just like really respect a director that knows exactly what he wants, gets it, and confidently moves on. That is leadership.
Well, thank you. That's
Yes.
kind. But you were also, everybody who was doing it ended up exceeding what was on the page was really good, which is why y'all did it.
Yeah, Connor and Christina, they went to dramatic writing at Tisch, and I went back and did the commencement speech, and their whole department is so proud of them.
Oh,
I was
that's
so happy
great.
that they got to have that opportunity.
Wonderful.
Well, everybody, they did such a great job. And most people, when they would try to improv, would end up being like, yeah, you know
not
what,
as good as the
it's not as good as the
script.
script.
Yeah.
And
Love
so they, everybody did it and then brought whatever they brought into it, and it elevated it. And so most things, I didn't have to do much because everybody was swimming in the same direction on this movie.
Yeah.
And everybody knew what the drill was and how fast we were going to go. And people are starting to bring up our Steadicam shot in it around the oval, and they're like, "How many times did you do that?" I was like,
17.
17?
We did it 17 times.
Still a low number. Still a low
Not really.
number.
I was the choreographer on Boogie Nights, and I think we did that opening shot of Boogie Nights like 11 times.
I mean,
but it was like an hour and a half reset. I don't know. I'd have to call
Slight
Paul. But
spoiler
drag
alert,
involved.
there is one really fun oneer of a tracking shot that Rue and I do with a bunch of the extras in the Oval Office.
yes.
And I remember when you said the script, I read it, that scene, and I was like, oh, this is gonna be legitimately really, because it reminded me of Airplane.
Yeah.
It's Bowen and I went to go see The Naked Gun in theaters. Actually, I saw it 2 days in a row because I am so craving movies like this.
With high joke density.
It's a very, this is a very high joke density.
Every scene
So
has
rewatchable.
like a game that it's playing and a joke, like Austin Powers. You know what I mean? Where you can kind of boil it down to like every scene is like a sketch.
I need.
Yeah,
I
and,
really
and you
feels
just throw
that way.
logic out the window, and it's all of that. It's
Yeah.
that's what its design is. And so you guys were great at it. The fun part for me, sitting in the audience and watching people watch the movie and that scene, is they're laughing through so much of it. They're
Yeah,
gonna
they
have
miss
to go.
all of
They
it.
miss all the jokes.
Yes.
Yeah,
and
it's
so
like that.
they're going to be compelled to watch it again.
Yes.
And
I think it's gonna be like really well. First of all, I have to say I don't. You never really know because, like algorithmically, the bubble of it all. Like you don't know if just the people. I remember I thought Bros was gonna make 100 million the first weekend.
Right.
Like
I can't
never
do that
know,
anymore.
and I'm always like a little surprised sometimes when something is either a hit or not so successful. But it feels really good.
I just had the gayest moment ever where I was listening to you
You pointed
things
to
and
his
looked
shoe
at
and
this
said cute.
and go,
I mean,
your
they
shoes
are.
so cute.
Well, you should show them.
Mouthed it.
They really are so fucking
multiple little
cute.
ribbons.
So gay. Oh
Very.
my god.
What, the shoes are you?
To me, it was so fucking.
Well, let me show you something. This is what we call an FYC shoe.
Oh,
This
yeah.
is the show you wear to the FYC
It's not
event.
for, it's not
For your
practical.
consideration,
finger
the
clapping, finger clapping,
Oh
finger
my
clapping.
god! Finger clap, finger clap.
So,
It is so cute. though.
But no, this is what we're talking about. It's like I like that things aren't as like box office, or maybe they still are, and I'm just choosing to ignore it. But it's like it seems like the outcome of the box office gross, like determining the worth of something. I'm just like, we never bought into that.
Dude, Backroom making $81 million this weekend.
Sick.
Like
Wow.
that's like one
I
of the
mean,
craziest things I've
the,
ever heard. And
um,
people are
what's
describing it as like kind of more
Obsession,
of a vibe. Yeah,
too.
Obsession is like thing like that.
Gen Z people,
and
yeah.
it's like it's not like people aren't going and paying money to go to the theaters. I mean, look, the outsized. There's something for me, particularly because of what I do, obviously, which is sad to me that there are a third of the comedies being released than there are of the horror. Now, when my favorite words to say, when I produced the Oscars,
Yes.
I did a tribute to horror
Yes.
in there.
I remember that.
And the Academy was actually, they were not pleased
Of course.
with that because it felt a little, I think at the time it felt like low to them in some way. And we were not, at that point, they were not courting younger viewers. Mm-hmm. And I remember also like during that thing, they were not thrilled that I brought out all of the, it was the year that John Hughes died. and I brought out all the cast members from the John Hughes movies
Why?
to do a
Because
tribute
that
to
was
John
too
Lennon.
low culture?
No, it was like, well, you're pulling him out of the in memoriam and you're making a thing about him, and there was and I was like, he is the reason why half this room
Is doing what
is
they
doing
do.
what they do.
Exactly.
So everybody needs to just pump
Chill
the
out.
brakes. Yeah. And we got to see them all standing on stage together, which
Yeah,
was really cool.
so
I remember
cool.
that. So
Anyway.
amazing. But you're saying like horror like has this new appreciation. Like it's appreciated in value, right?
It's appreciated in value, and you don't need stars.
You don't
know,
need
so there's
stars.
so you don't need stars to sell it. The concepts sell themselves.
Yep.
And you have imagery matched with a score
Yep.
and music that can do like a very, very desired dopamine hit by the
Yes.
audiences. And the dopamine hits that you get in comedy generally, because comedies are much softer now. They
Yes.
used to be much more outrageous, much more. I mean, when
Yep.
you go back to the early Mel Brooks and you go back to the airplanes and you do all that, you were getting dopamines because you could not believe what the fuck was coming out of anybody's mouth.
Yeah, it was more shock.
It was so much that, so you could get that same kind of feeling. And we're so numbed out now
Yeah.
that when we have these movies that are giving us the promise of those dopamine hits, then that's going to be, when you don't have star salaries to do.
My thesis was that like comedy is undervalued right now.
It is.
In a way, in a literal sense of like, it is a very necessary thing that people are not appreciating in the way that I feel like they should, which is that comedy is inherently optimistic and that
It
is
is.
in short supply.
That makes it soft.
That makes it soft. But I think with movies like Naked Gun remake and with Stop That Train now, it's like, this is actually hugely important in the same way that you go to a horror movie you go to the theater for a horror movie to scream and be surprised with an audience and have this communal experience.
Yeah.
Like Matt and I loved going to Naked Gun and laughing along with with a room full of people, because I was like, and then we were a little stoned, but I was like, oh, this feels so foreign.
Well, also, by the way, we were in a fight that day, and we actually were reaching the apex of the
fight?
conflict as we were going up the escalators at Alamo Draft
Yes,
House to
yes.
see the movie, and then we watched it, and it did help.
It helped. We were like, we have to put our feelings aside. We're about to watch Naked Gun.
And then it was like we were laughing. We loved it so
Well,
much.
that's the whole
laughing.
thing, is that it's relief.
It's
No,
exactly.
literally, and
It's relief.
this is why I'm saying, like, yes, I think like people don't want to make risks, but also people are. It's they're just too afraid to, because comedy is like there's a hit percentage with it, right? Like it's
Yeah.
and then so there's risk in making it in terms of making the movie
different
and making
people
the
think
money
different
back.
things are funny.
Exactly.
Yes.
And I feel like because you can't like plan for what's exactly going to happen audience wise, it's the first to go.
That's why Stop That Train actually is why I jumped at it so much, is because Stop That Train's brand of humor is universal.
Yes.
It's like, it's slapstick.
Yeah.
It's smart, stupid.
you can laugh
Or
with
stupid smart?
You can laugh with it muted.
1,000%.
yes.
and
There's
also,
a
you
lot of,
didn't like that joke? Wait 3 seconds.
Wait 3 seconds,
Wait
you got
3
another
seconds. You'll
joke.
forget about that joke, and you're going to like the next one.
Yeah.
Wait 3 seconds after that.
Which is why the comparison to horror is interesting, because in a horror film, it's like a scream or a scare can be spaced out pretty far.
Yeah.
Right? It's like you don't, but like you are thinking comedies in like a laughs per minute way.
Unless it's like a very heavily plotted out comedy.
Sure.
If it's a plot heavy comedy. I mean, look, Scary Movie's coming out.
Yes.
That's
yes,
gonna,
I
you
was
know,
thinking
Scary
it's
Movie.
June
it's
5th
like,
and June 12th. For
Yeah.
them to be two
Yeah.
of those movies just a week apart is, I think,
Better-
a big victory.
yeah,
a good sign.
it's like there's a good joke density there.
Yes, yes.
And
Yeah.
so I feel good about being a part of it. I've never, as queer coded as all my movies are, because I'm the one who made them. You know,
Your gayest
this is
film yet.
This is for sure. This is straight down the
Well,
pipe.
thank you for casting Shane West. 'Cause
Yes!
little gay me was so happy about that.
Yeah, I mean, you want to know the funny? I just
You work with all the
recently
twinks.
I just recently found their chemistry read.
Oh,
I have it on
that's
tape.
fun.
I just
By the
found
way,
it.
one of the biggest compliments I'll give about that movie, the incredible chemistry they found together.
Oh, yes.
And what
That's
was
why
that
they
her
got the
first
parts.
film?
No, she had made.
She had done Princess Diaries.
Princess Diaries.
Yeah.
Well, you know, she was playing a stock type there.
She was leading.
She was. Yeah. She was playing in a weird way, like the bitchy version of her Candy. of her pop star person.
Yeah.
You know,
right, and that probably was an easy sell to like. Oh, there's Mandy Moore. She's gonna play like the mean girl, and she's blonde. She's gonna pick on Anne with her brown curly hair, etc.
Yeah.
But then to see her, just all that vulnerability and all that kindness and goodness that is so inherent in her.
Do you know
if you
why
get to
I
know
cast
her now,
besides the chemistry read. Okay, so the studio wanted Jessica Simpson.
so they wanted to do a
Jessica
pop star
Simpson
thing.
because they wanted her. Well, it was a very low, that was a low budget movie.
Oh, she was also super Christian.
And she was very Christian,
Yeah.
famously.
Yeah.
And Andrew Lloyd Webber, this is the tea that we got. Andrew Lloyd Webber was interested in her for Christine in Phantom, and they wanted to use Walk to Remember to kind of audition that. And
That
craziest sentence.
crazy man.
and so we had lunch, and that was its own thing with her and her dad, and they were lovely.
I'm sure
at the
with
Warner
the dad
Brothers
in the mix.
Yeah, at the Warner Brothers cafeteria. But I was driving home, and on the radio, a little voice came over the radio singing a little song called "I Want to Be With You."
My favorite song. I try, but I can't seem to get
And
anything.
and it had just all that breathiness to it, and I
love her.
I went, God, that voice, that's like, that would be like how I pictured Jamie singing. And then I went and I looked up what the album cover looked like. Do you remember what that album cover was?
course.
The white with her like blowing out.
Yeah.
And I went like, that's her.
That's
That's Jamie. I went, oh my God, please God, let her be able to act. Please
And
God,
she could
let her be able to
extremely
act.
well.
And this is what happened. So I met with her. She came to lunch at the Ivy for a meeting with me, holding her copy of Walk to Remember.
the book.
The book, when she was 16, I guess 15, 16. And our first day of shooting was her 17th birthday. That I do remember. And she came and she was so Mandy. Like what you get now is like just the more mature version of what it was. But that sweetness, that innocence, that little laugh, that the big doe eye thing, that was all there then. And I just was like, in my head the whole time, I was like, God, please let her be able to act. Please let her be able to act. And so I read her and she was good. And then I had her do the chemistry read with Shane, who was pretty popular on his TV show at that time. And I will tell you this, neither of them were particularly good in the reading in terms, like they didn't have their characters down.
Sure.
But the way they listened to each other and the chemistry they had, I was like, I can't teach that. I can't direct that.
Yeah.
So that became them. And that's how that went down.
Okay, Adam Shankman, it's time to ask you the question.
Okay.
What is the culture that made you say culture is for me?
It's funny because all roads lead back to both culture and also being gay.
Yes.
And I really fought between two subjects because they were both very impactful for me. But I would say the culture that made me, culture was for me, would have to be seeing The Sound of Music for the first time. And why I say that also relates to because I was very, very young. The movie was made, like they used to re-release movies very quickly back then into the theaters.
Right.
Like I was born in 1964, and which I believe is when it was made and or came out. And so I think I was probably about 3 or 4 when I saw it for the first time because my parents were really into playing musical. My mom loved them, and they exposed me to musical theater. I was very drawn to it very early.
Yeah.
And some inappropriate stuff, by the way, like Chicago but the sexual stuff all flew over my head.
Yeah,
whatever.
yeah,
I was really into just looking at the costumes,
Right.
and listening to the music and watching the women, watching Anita put on her nylons during Anita's Gonna Get Her Kicks, and I or putting on perfume and all that. Anyway, so I saw that opening shot with those flutes and coming down and finding Julie Andrews spinning in a circle skirt on the top of that mountain. I think my head fell off its body. Like I suddenly was born.
Yeah. Oh.
And then to track this story of this person who has so much good and so much love in her, who is also naughty and kind of a rule breaker, and then lives this insane fantasy life in wealth, surrounded, never giving up being who she is, and then gets fallen in love with by this stud, and finding love and all that. I was just like, I want that.
Yeah.
This is me. I am this. This is everything I dream of in my entire life. It was like even at that age, all of it was fulfilled. And that's how old I was when I saw it. And I have an unfortunately good memory.
Fortunate for us.
Well, I have, there's plenty to go around. That to me was everything, because it also tethers into the gay. And I had sort of, and what's interesting about, and I want to talk about the cultural significance of Sound of Music if you'd like, but also it tethers into what I had told you about, which is that kind of fantasist living and my relating to Maria and wanting to be Maria and to have that experience was I started to say to my parents, like, I want to be a girl. I want to be a girl. And in 1967, 68, my mom and dad were 22 and 23 when I was born. And it was not okay. And they were very concerned about me. And they wanted to know the best way to parent me. And they're very liberal. My parents are very liberal. And they were, so they sought some help. And there was a program at UCLA for kids with gender dysmorphia. And so they talked to the doctor, and they felt like, he said, I can help him. And, we'll figure this out. And my mom drove me to these, so I'd see him twice a week privately, and then twice a month privately, and twice a month studied with a group. And what my mother sitting in the thing didn't know is she had inadvertently put me in conversion therapy at 4 years old. Wow. And what that man did and said was will never be undone. I will be fighting with that inner narrative of I'm bad, like my existence is bad. And I was told in so many words that if I said I was if I said I wanted to be a girl or any of these things, which had to do with fabric and like a Prince Charming taking care of me, that my parents would discard me. I would perish. I would starve. I'd have no friends. I'd never know any love. I was 4 years old. And this man said it to me over and over and over again, and in different ways. And the way my mother describes what was happening was, at a certain point, she started to get very concerned because she said she saw my light go out.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
And I stopped being the singy, dancy, happy kid that you see at Equinox. And that I was becoming quiet. And one day I just said to her, I don't want to go back and see Dr. Green. And she was like, no problem. And they took me out. And
when did it stop?
How far in? Yeah.
I don't know. I want to text my mom, but at least 6 months. I mean,
so you were that young when you were able to vocalize, like.
And what I want to be very clear about was, I wanted to be a girl. I did not feel like a girl. I was not trained.
I think everyone understands. I said the same stuff.
I said the same thing.
Yeah. I used to put a towel in the back of me so that I could feel like I had long hair. I wanted to be Tina.
Yeah, it was about dress up, and it was about, but it really was a lot about, like, wanting to be taken care of and protected.
Of course, it's the difference between, this is an oversimplification, another one. It's the difference between drag and being and feeling like you are in the wrong body.
Yes.
But yes. So, of course, and yet, and how does because my mom, having gone through a similar thing at a very different age, for a much shorter amount of time, like my parents now are still like, we are so sorry that we put you through
My
that.
parents feel like it's the most harm they've ever done. They cannot cope with it in some ways.
And that's another layer of pain. Yeah.
We've come to, they didn't know, they were lied to.
Yes.
They were lied to. And
It wasn't
they were
because
young.
they didn't love you.
It was not
how
because
they were
didn't love
trying
me.
to help.
It was because they were trying to figure out the best way to make their beloved baby son feel safe and okay. And unfortunately, they were lied to and put me in the hands of a monster. And and the worst thing that I realized when I had to, obviously a ton of therapy and all of that I realized that happened was because I think to myself, that ended at a certain point. Why is this still haunting me? And I realized it's because I made his voice mine.
Yes, that's exactly it. I was going to say, yep.
I made his voice mine, but I was too young to know any different. And it became like this life narrative where it's all been about like pleasing and shame and this and that and the next thing. And not feeling safe a lot of the time. And that's why set is so important to me, because I feel so safe at work. I know exactly what I'm supposed to be doing there. I feel appreciated. I feel, you get me off set, I'm a fucking disaster. I don't know how to walk around in the world like a normal person. It was after I was on So You Think You Can Dance, and I was for that period of time kind of like TV famous.
Yeah, an on-air
It was like
personality.
an on-air personality. And people would come up to me. I was like,
How do I interact with this?
you want to know, you want to be set up for a drug and alcohol problem. That shit sets you up for a drug and alcohol problem. That happened to me when I was a kid. And it was the only way I could cope. And so anyway, all that is to say, yes, my parents are, will never be able to express their. On the other hand, when they then outed me when I was graduating high school, because like I had girlfriends and I was like, they were like, we want you to know X, Y, and Z. They took me on separate trips. They were divorced at that point, and they took me on separate trips and basically told me that they either knew or felt good about me gay, which was the worst possible thing that they could have said to me.
Yeah, we know. You're not fooling anyone, King.
Well, I wasn't out to me.
Exactly.
So I was like, what the fuck is happening? And I would be like, I am not. And there was this. And they're like, well, just in case. And then my mom's sending me books called Now That We Know. And I'm like, oh my God.
Now that we know.
Now that we know.
I'm losing my mind.
Of course.
Because coming out took me so long.
Yeah.
And I was like, every time I would say to one of my friends, I'm gay. And they'd be like, yeah, this was like, and I was like, what? How does everybody know this thing that I'm
so frustrating when that happens.
It was so weird.
Because you're using so much energy to convince everyone otherwise.
But I was so lucky to come out into love.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That I know is a blessing that not everybody gets. But the thing that happened when I was young will never fucking go away. And it drives me crazy.
Yeah.
It will never go away, but you've already done the work, which is to like name it, externalize it. It is not a part of you. It's bouncing around, but it's as long as you can be like, that's Dr. Green.
Yeah. He's dead.
He's dead. He lived a sad life where he was causing harm at the end of the day.
And guess what he was?
Gay. Well, I would imagine that's
yeah. That was like there was some talk about him, like my suspecting that like my parents felt like he hit on my dad, kind of thing. Like there was like,
of course,
my dad was hot when he was young. So yeah, it was anyway.
Listen.
Lucky,
lucky him. But
Must be
anyway,
nice.
That having to do with The Sound of Music.
No, but that is it all. It's a first of all, thank you for sharing that, and I think that unfortunately, a lot of times, like it's those things that bring us into the light which also makes us kind of expose ourselves. And sometimes it happens a little earlier than we're ready, or, we sort of, we become bigger, more expressive versions of ourselves when, and then all of a sudden we've revealed too much and the world is mean.
And the world is mean, and it's very interesting because during this sort of press run for Stop That Train, I'm constantly being asked what pride means to me because we're coming out into gay pride. And as silly as a question that because it's so like, I don't know, do you want the Wikipedia? Do you want that? Wait, what are we talking about? For me, the gratitude that I have and need to express more rather than the complaint, because we actually live in a place where being us is legal.
Mm-hmm.
And even though they want to take away rights and stuff, like a lot of them these days, it's still legal and we're allowed to exist. Whereas there's places in this earth where people are stoned to death and that are jailed for being simply who they are.
Right.
And so to not acknowledge that we get to have that as we fight for ourselves right now, which we have to, it felt strange and then to see that there was like some talk about reversing the conversion ban.
Yeah.
I was like, what the fuck? Like that is, I have firsthand experience, as do you.
Yeah.
And
it's kind of, they're now trying to frame it, or they're trying to make us believe that actually limiting conversion therapy would be limiting, like, I guess,
speech,
like
free speech,
and I guess like some sort of like religious practice. You know what I mean? Because it's like it's almost as if saying no, you can't pray the gay away is like anti-God.
Right.
When meanwhile we're just stating a fact. You are not able to pray the gay away. It's not sacrilegious. It's just truth.
Well, it's also you're trying to inflict your beliefs on someone else, which is like, and make somebody else's truth and reality yours involuntarily. That's what, and to say that it's a parent's decision. I mean, if a child expresses is expressing themselves, and the parents are upset with what they have in front of them, their child. To potentially put them in extraordinary mental and emotional duress and harm to make them more how they would like them to be is patently wrong.
While these people are saying it's to protect the children, it's like this. It's tale as old as time.
Yeah,
it's like it's parody on The Simpsons at this point.
Yeah,
it's
you're
like
right.
What about the children woman? It's like,
well, that's what that's been the best way to campaign.
The Simpsons. Oh yeah.
No.
Oh yeah.
To the children.
No,
the children.
But you are
use the children.
But you are endangering the children. It's like it's crazy how dissonant that whole thing
Which
is.
brings us back to The Sound of Music when the Nazis and the children. By the way, you know that I did make a movie with a Nazi subplot that has The Sound of Music, which is The Pacifier. Which
Another
was
Britney Snow film.
my first Britney Snow
Your
film.
first Britney Snow film.
And Max the Ariot has a plot where Vin Diesel he's dyed his hair blonde, bleached his hair blonde, and finds a swastika armband in his dressing room and thinks that the kid is a Nazi.
A Nazi.
And follows him to one of his meetings where he meets up in an alley with other blonde guys wearing Nazi armbands. And then when he follows him in, they're just rehearsing a production of Sound of Music. Perfect. So I got to make the Disney movie with the Nazi subplot. Although I would say, I guess Bedknobs and Broomsticks has a nice war time thing going on in there too.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, but it's not Nazi specific.
But it's beautiful that you're talking about Sound of Music this way, where it's like it's Maria. You can your surrogate is Maria, and it's the children, right? Like as a kid, you're like, I just want to be one of the Von Trapp kids.
Yeah.
But then as you grow up, you're like, oh right, I identify with her because it's like she's a good heart, but she's misunderstood, and she just needs to like find the right place.
And that's how I continue to feel.
Yes.
In life, and which is fine. Like I'm not mad at who I am and how I am. I'm like, it's who I am. And I've had like a freaking amazing life. I've had opportunities and experiences that when I like lay it out, I can't even fathom
Yeah.
that person. And yet here I am, and all I want to do is just get another job and work, you know?
Of course, we identify with this completely. And I also just want to say, I feel compelled to say, and I know you're like, why does this kid keep talking about the DVD commentary of A Walk to Remember?
There, you know what happened because of that DVD commentary.
What happened?
Well, first of all, it did become a thing, and there was like a whole like fan site devoted to it. Like there was like a whole thing, but I said something on the commentary about one of the cast members screwing everybody all the girls in North Carolina during the thing. And I didn't know he was engaged at the time.
Well, that's
and
on
they
him.
And the girl heard it and broke off their wedding.
Well,
because
that's for the best.
Better for her, better for him, I guess.
Yeah,
exactly.
It doesn't seem like someone that wanted to be married.
I believe on the commentary I may have said, I could be totally wrong about this, but I remember saying
You watch
something
your own
about,
commentary. No, you
I
watch
said, no, that's what I do watch. It's my commentaries. No, I believe that I said like that kid was paid to get laid. And Mandy and Shane were sitting across the desk from me going like, no, don't.
It's too real.
Well, they were like, don't let this out because of his girlfriend.
Sure, but
I couldn't know what the fuck they were talking about.
Sure.
You know who is do you remember Danny from The Real World?
Yeah.
Like, and because he had Paul, it was New Orleans,
Yeah.
and Paul, the fuzzy face.
Yeah, they would blur out his face.
Yeah.
They
Yeah.
blur out his face. He was like that. It was right after their season aired that we shot that, and they lived across the street from me in
Wilmington? No.
Yeah, but Wrightsville Beach. I was in
Okay,
Wrightsville
cool.
Beach, where my place was, and I'd see him out on the street, like washing his car, and I felt like I had to look away because he was such a big star back then. Like
Yeah.
the Real World kids were like
Huge.
No, it was
huge back then.
major.
And when I saw Paul for the first time, I was like, I looked away because I felt like I'm not supposed
You're
to
not
know.
supposed to know
I'm not supposed to know what he
You're
looks
supposed
like.
to be a blur, sir.
And I looked like I ended up becoming friends with them, and it was
there
like,
you go.
oh, but it was wild.
And now, a vital break from our sponsor, Vital Proteins.
You know the blue tub you've probably seen everywhere? That's Vital Proteins collagen peptides. Now, why use them?
Because they're the experts, the #1 collagen brand in the US. I'm talking about ingredients backed by science and shown to be effective.
I mean, when we hit about age 30, our bodies naturally produce less collagen. And collagen has a lot of benefits. A lot! Collagen peptides are a simple wellness supplement that supports healthy hair, skin, nails, bones, and best of all, joints.
And it's easy to use. Add a serving to whatever you're already drinking. Morning coffee, afternoon tea, daily smoothie, weekly whatever.
I use Vital Proteins collagen every morning. I just mix it into my coffee or a smoothie. It's super easy, and it's become a simple part of my daily routine.
But however you do it, consistency is the key. It's crazy how something so effective is so easy.
And right now, you can get 20% off your next order by going to vitalproteins.com and using promo code LasCulturistas20. That's LasCulturistas20 at checkout.
Huge thanks again to our sponsor, Vital Proteins.
These statements have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.
I thought you said it was proven by science.
Never said that. I just said it was good.
I want to say on the note of the commentary, it's like, I just want you to receive this. And I think like you will believe me. Like, and I think I've told you, it's like that commentary, I would just rewatch it over and over again because I was like, oh my God, it's like such a sad movie, but they're being so funny on it, especially Adam Shankman. And it was like the first time, now that we're on a podcast, it's like, it was the first time that I had like heard like a gay man's voice just like lead this conversation in such a fun, funny direction. The way you were cracking jokes, I was like, I want to be friends with this. This guy seems so great.
Daryl Hannah in a wig.
Well, I was just like, I was like, and it's representation is, I guess, the best word for it. But I was just like, it was a very important early moment for me to be like, wow, you can direct a movie like this as a gay man. You can like have this rapport where you're like nurturing this talent and really bonding with them, and you're at their level. You're just cracking wise. And I was like, this seems great. I was like, I consider you, and have always considered you, an incredible role model in that way.
Wow,
I know you have no idea, Adam. You are very you figure very.
Why is this episode sad?
It's not sad. It's not sad.
It's not sad.
No, it's a little. I don't know. I'm okay.
It's happy.
It is happy. No, it's happy, and it's
What
kind.
to remember is sad. Fuck you for that.
Fuck you for that.
No, it's hopeful. It's only hopeful.
It's only hopeful.
But
I can't
thank
see
you.
it. I can feel it.
Thank you. I'm so happy I forced us to be friends over DMs.
You didn't force us to be friends. It was wish fulfillment for me. I was like, oh my god, this man that I've always loved. Like, it's so cool.
Well, you're doing this now for other kids. You know that, so which you know.
What
you know that.
What you're describing is like a parasocial.
Yes, exactly.
Urge.
Exactly.
And I think that is. I was thinking about the DVD commentary of it all and how much I enjoyed it as well. In every
Clearly
movie that
not
ever
as
had
much
them.
though, Matt.
No,
So
I-
I'm gonna only pay attention to
Gotta
Bowen.
cop to it. Wasn't that into it? But really, I was like, really, what they were was podcasts.
No, they really
you
were.
You
Yeah.
were listening to a podcast.
I was listening to a podcast
about
movie.
the movie.
Exactly.
And like that's what those were. And I never did hear the Fire Island. Oh no, yes I did. I did watch the Fire Island DVD commentary. But I guess
good.
that's the only movie I've ever been in that had that.
commentary,
and I
yeah.
was like, oh, what a nice thing that I hope people don't stop doing because it was.
We just
also,
shot one for Stop That Train.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, we just did
You
one for Stop
and-
That Train. Me and Christina and Connor.
Oh, great.
Yeah.
That's great. I'm listening.
It was rough to keep on target, and
Yeah.
keep talking about the movie.
But it's just fun to hear. It's fun to hear. I like BTS. I like hearing, that was a fun thing that happened this day, etc. Like, I don't know. Like, I'm into that. Like, it's funny.
The Hammercat sketch? No.
Oh my God, that's so funny. I was just
I
thinking
love
it.
that
I didn't
sketch.
think you could possibly remember it.
Matt wrote a sketch when we were in college.
It wasn't me, it was Sudi.
Our
Yeah.
friend Sudi wrote a sketch when we were in college. It was
Doubt.
the DVD commentary of Doubt. And then one of them, it was, whatever.
It was literally Philip Seymour Hoffman,
Hoffman.
Meryl Streep, and then the woman
who
from
ran
Craft
Crafty.
Services.
She was like,
We're on,
so
she
they're
goes,
talking about processes, and then Sudi comes in and chimes in with her voice. And on that day, there was a Cobb salad for lunch.
it was really tough because this was a hot day on set. This was an outdoor shoot, and that's the day I did Cobb salad, and that ended up being it was a short lunch.
That's really funny.
It was
Doubt.
really,
That's really funny.
This is the DVD commentary of Doubt.
Now, like, I missed it. Like, you just don't have that anymore. But what were you gonna say?
I think I forget. I was just saying like I was watching. I just like BTS of movies, and I like movie history, etc. And I was watching Epic Ride, which is on Peacock, and it's
Fabulous.
a 3-episode docu-series, like a little tiny thing about like the making of Epic Universe. And but when you zoom out, it's also about like Universal Studios. Actually, Carl Laemmle in the beginning of the Universal Studios production company, and how he bought Universal City, and it literally, the tram tour actually started as people could just gather around and watch silent films get shot, and they could make noise and they could yell and they could laugh and hoot and holler because it was a silent film, and they would stand around and just watch it, and that became the tram tour,
Right.
which gave birth to Universal Studios
Theme parks.
as
Theme
we know
parks.
it.
Yeah.
And I was just like really fascinated by that history. And so I just like to hear BTS about anything that I love. And just so I am motivated now to go watch the DVD commentary because I haven't seen that movie in a long time. I am curious how hard I could cry now today. I wonder if I can match myself at 11.
I can't figure out how you guys can even stand, given the fact that you have the schedules that you have, not just with the podcast, with everything else, with the awards that you just did, with the press obligations that you have, with working your other jobs, with acting like that, and then being such loyal, good friends to your friends, spending time with all the friends, and trying to consume culture, which I don't understand how you make time to see all these things. I don't have that. I don't have that capacity. And it's extraordinary. And I brought this up to you on set. I was like, how do you do it all? I don't get it.
The thing that suffers most for me is consuming more culture. It's the thing that, and I'm unqualified to host this podcast, or where I'm like,
I've always said that.
Yes.
But here's the thing, though. Like, everything we do is fun.
Yeah.
Like, we have fun doing all the things that we
She
do.
fun.
And
She
she
fun. Stormaganza. Amazing.
so good.
I love that line gtes used in the trailers a lot.
Which one?
There's a Glamazonian Express heading into a massive storm.
That's one of the great trailers in recent memory.
Do you
So
remember what I
fun.
said? I was
You're
like,
gonna
I was
love
like,
it.
man, I was
Can't
like,
wait.
if y'all best be playing this as a drama. Period.
Oh no!
Yes.
Literally.
Great,
I
no.
remember being like, because you don't know. Like, I was like, "Am I doing
course.
this completely straight?" He goes, "Oh, dead ass." I
Yeah,
was like,
dead
"Yeah, got
ass.
it, 100%."
It's just
Perfect.
all you do is go click up to soap opera. That's it.
Well, because everything is so absurd. In particular, there's one joke where we're in the press room. Just bleep this.
Yeah.
It's just, I'll just tell you. It's
No.
like I maybe I won't tell you. Actually.
Don't tell me.
But that
I know he has a great
it's
scene in the
so
press room.
absurd. Like, it's so insane.
Well, especially what happened with like that.
Yeah.
That was like the dumbest thing. That I was
No,
like,
that's
how
what
is
I'm
that?
saying.
It's
It was
like
so
dumb
dumb.
thing upon dumb thing upon dumb thing.
Adam did cut me.
Yeah, sword swallowing.
He cut me swallowing a sword, and I think it's because I couldn't say swallow a sword.
It's tough.
And then I took out a sword and I swallowed it, and it wasn't in the cut.
No,
but
it's
maybe
because
that'll
it's,
be in the bonus feature.
Sure. No, I wanted to end on Rue being
No,
uncomfortable.
100%.
Yeah.
Trust me,
Yeah.
you did the right thing.
Yeah.
The
But-
movie didn't need me swallowing a sword.
It did. Well, now people want to.
Other movies do though.
Yeah, I'm available.
Our
I
next,
proved I
our
can
next
do
thing.
it.
Yeah, our next
Just
thing.
ask Adam for the B-roll.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
That's happening.
I am.
Dead ass.
This is thrilling. That this is all coming
It
together.
has a blooper reel.
Oh, yeah,
We
yeah.
are always saying, bring back the blooper reel.
Always.
It has one.
There was no way I was not doing a blooper reel. The
course.
second I saw the first cut, I was like, let's start putting the blooper
It
reels.
has a blooper
together.
reel, and Rue and I made the blooper reel. I was so happy
Very
about it.
much so.
I was very, very thrilled about that. See, and that is, I guess, the message I would impart on everyone. Like, it's like the movies you remember.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? It's just fun, and it's for you if you're watching it at
Yep.
home, and it's coming at such a fun time. I'm also so happy that it comes out right before the Cultural Awards airs, because we were so excited to welcome so many of the cast of Stop That Train on the Cultural
I mean,
Awards.
who was there? It was
Rachel Bloom, who, by the way, is the lead of the film Stop That Train.
kind of
Simone, Rue,
Rue, you,
me, of course, Monet. The list goes
Fabulous.
on.
I don't know. It was crawling with Stop That Train people.
Yeah, there was so
like
many.
underfoot. Everywhere you looked, there was a Stop That Train.
And
person.
Lisa
It was
Rinna.
that- Lisa Rinna.
Yes.
That was the one I was missing. Yes, very much Lisa Rinna. She has one of the stupidest lines in the movie that she delivers so
Yeah, she was-
blankly that it's absolutely insane. It's
can do it
totally
all.
insane. Huh? Yeah.
She can do it all. She's a
Rinna.
soap legend. She's Rinna.
She's Rinna.
She's just Rinna, babe.
And boy, did she work that fucking culture award shit.
Wait
Boy,
till
did
you
she
see.
Wait till
Oh
you see.
my god! Oh my god!
Well, let's manifest and put something out into the ether. Because I feel like your breadth is so wonderful and expansive as a director. What do you still want to do?
I want to do thriller. I want to bring back the Ashley Judd movie, like the
Double Jeopardy.
like a Double
Along
Jeopardy
Came
kind
a
of thing.
Spider.
Yeah, all that.
Yeah.
That is a genre that I miss. It's the woman in peril who wins. You know.
Yeah.
And I love that.
J-Lo was doing a lot of that.
Yeah.
And you also directed one of my favorite J-Los, Wedding Planner.
Wedding planner.
My first movie. That's so crazy. That is something I can't. It's shocking to me.
Can I
that
ask you
people
a
know what that
question
is.
in song?
Please.
How can I plan on forever when I never planned on you?
I have a lot
I'm
of funny
so
stories
warm
with
from
that.
last
You're
night.
very warm.
The stories
I
about
couldn't
that
believe
movie.
that song. Like, it's like a scene where J-Lo has been dejected and tossed away. How could I plan on forever?
Forever, when
She's the wedding planner.
when I never planned on you.
Can you tell a J-Lo story?
Can I tell a
We've
J-Lo?
met
yes.
her.
We've met her.
Yes.
She's been
yes,
on the
you have met
podcast.
her.
She was
yes,
fabulous.
I know. She was one of the few I've directed that didn't mention me on your podcast. So what I would say,
Shade.
no, I love Jennifer. I will tell you this. She was rapidly on the rise.
Yes.
When we made that movie. And do
huge.
you remember who she was dating at the time?
Ben Affleck.
No.
Diddy.
Correct.
Oh, yes.
Correct. Now, at the time, also, that was crazy because Bridget Everett was dating before she married Pete Sampras. Jennifer was with Diddy.
You said Bridget Everett?
Wait, Bridget Wilson.
Oh, Bridget Wilson. Sorry, Bridget Wilson. Sorry, Bridget Everett. Oh, sorry. So Bridget Wilson.
Everett.
Yeah, Bridget
And
Wilson.
Pete Sampras.
No,
I was
Bridget.
hot.
Bridget
That's
Everett.
roller culture number 30. Bridget Everett and Pete Sampras. Hot item.
That is a
Bridget
hot
Everett just texted me, baby. So that's why I was thinking of her. So Bridget Wilson was pre-married Pete Sampras. Matthew McConaughey was loosely linked to Sandra Bullock. And Jennifer was with Diddy.
Right.
And all of them were visiting
Whoa.
on my first movie.
Sandy, Diddy, and Pete Sampras. What a trio.
Honestly, though, at the time, that's where all the money in Hollywood was. Across that's
it was
sports, music, and
nuts.
movies, bitch.
Nuts.
It was, and I was like just trying to get my first movie
To say nothing
made.
of J-Lo.
To say nothing of Jennifer, who Jennifer and I at that time were very, very locked in together.
Yeah.
We were
You guys were very
we
close.
we were brother sister down during the making of that movie. And like I remember when we were, this was actually really funny. We went to that place Filoli in up by San Francisco where they did the spa retreat, those scenes where they went to the spa retreat.
Oh, yeah,
whatever.
sure.
And we were there. It's like an hour outside of San Francisco, and we were there. And it was the day that the No Strings Attached was coming out, the NSYNC album. And we sent a PA into San Francisco to go get the DVD. The CD.
Yes.
Yeah.
To go get, wow.
Why? Because you wanted it?
We wanted it. We wanted to hear it. We hadn't heard anything
great
off
album.
it. And it was getting released. And Jennifer and I were super ganked to hear it.
Yeah.
And I have a picture of us sitting on the lawn outside of Filoli. Her hair and makeup people, one is brushing her hair, one is touching up her lips. I'm laying on her lap and we're listening to...
Baby,
to the first thing like that, and Jennifer turned to me and she goes, "There are no Backstreet Boys anymore." And I was just like, "Damn, girl!" Like she knew that album was about to just wipe. That remember how huge that album was?
Major.
Massive.
It was massive.
It kind of because there had been Millennium, and that felt like the biggest deal, and then NSYNC just
No Strings Attached was
over.
huge.
Yeah, and Jen.
Digital, get down, just you and me.
Keep going.
So, but I remember like that was also very traumatic though, because when that movie came out, basically I think it was #1 for 3 weeks.
Huge.
But the reviews, somebody texted me and said, Mark Shaman actually texted me and he said, "How does it feel to be the most hated man in America?"
Oh, God.
They literally like called me the Jeffrey Dahmer of the DGA. It was
Because
like
they
were
fucking
like
hate rom-com.
it was like the headlines were so mean. And to
Well,
my
because
knowledge,
anything she was attached to.
And anything soft, I
People
guess.
at that
It
time
was a
needed
rom-com.
to have a strong reaction to it.
Yeah, I was warned that people, rom-coms generally, unless they are like Julia Roberts movies, got unfavorable reviews.
They
like,
still
things like
do.
that. And so
Well, good news, you killed them. So thanks everyone out there. You killed them.
it was, yeah, right. I feel, but that was wild. That was wild.
Yeah.
But I got a lot of stuff. Oh, I'll tell you another good Jennifer story. So we were outside doing the horseback riding thing where she's on the runaway horse. Do you remember there's a scene where she gets up on a runaway horse?
This is after she was almost hit by the.
By the trash
And she
can.
goes, "You saved my shoe."
You saved my shoe. Yeah. The two of them together was comedy. The two of them together was the most
I love
extraordinary
Matthew
thing.
McConaughey.
I do too. I love that man. There's nothing but goodness in his heart. That is just kindness and goodness that runs through that man's veins. Anyway, so Jennifer, the day we were supposed to be out there, Sony shut us down for a day so that Jennifer could go to the Grammys. And at that Grammys,
Wore the dress.
Reveal
she
the
wore
Versace
the dress. And I saw but Sony, who is making the wedding planner, shut us down. They paid for us to shut down for the day so she could go to the Grammys.
Wow.
And
Worth it.
And then she came the next day and walked in. And I walked in. I was like, and she just looked at me and I just was shaking my hand. She's like, Mama fucked it up, right? And I was like, yes, girl.
And Google Image was born.
And Google Image was born. But on that day, then it ended up being Jennifer famously, obviously wears a lot of lip gloss.
Yes.
I mean, she always has that beautiful shine on her lip, that glass lip. And on this beautiful day, the temperature dropped to like 0. And we were doing the part where they were like, and we were in that Disney back lot, like
the ranch?
at Disney Ranch. And Matthew's walking her down the house and her gloss froze.
Her lips froze.
And like while we were talking, I noticed that she was suddenly having troubles. Like she was like, "At any rate," and I was like, "This is the greatest thing that I've ever seen in my entire life."
Funny.
You know, but it
Man.
was God love. We had so much fun making that movie, though. The two of us, like, I really
It's so
cherished
fun
that time.
to watch. It's so fun to watch. I love that movie. It's
That
one of
is
my
a
faves.
silly movie. Like like her apartment would be like $4.5 million back then, and her hair is absurd. It's like it's so done. I made that movie to be like an old 1940s movie. You know, that's what I wanted it to be. Everything's a little too big. Everything's a little too pretty.
Of course.
The flower budget on that thing was practically the whole budget. Like it was crazy.
But you picked the important stuff.
Yeah.
It has to be like aesthetically something like that thing.
I mean, if that's what she
Olivia
does.
Newton-John, I honestly love you. I love this song. What do you think? I think it's perfect.
First scene we shot.
Wow!
Fabulous.
First scene we shot. That was that car. That was a tough day.
Day one.
Yeah, day one was the opening moments were stressful, but for another time. Plenty of stories there. Yeah, it's fine. I can't remember what I did earlier today, but I can literally remember everything about
Isn't that
making
always
all
the
this.
It's always
though,
the case.
like-
It's always how it is.
Do you have that about Wicked, where like you just can you?
Yes, absolutely. Well, but Wicked was there's like different moments of it where I'm like, yes, I remember this vividly, and then there are other moments of it where I'm like, I was on a plane, that was a really tough time.
I was going through it with you on the podcast. I felt everything. I think I even texted you a couple times.
You did.
But,
You were so supportive.
It was a
I
hard
was
time.
concerned about you, and I was concerned about you when you broke up with the guy. I thought I was like, this is the weird thing about podcast friendships. Like I was like, it's strange knowing you when I have you with me so much of the time.
Yes, it's just a flavor of it's a different, like, it's a new flavor of friendship. You know, it's
Well,
like,
you know this is all fake.
Yes.
This isn't. This is. You
isn't
cut,
real.
cut this out.
This is all
This is.
ruse.
You know this is all fake.
Yeah.
But it's been hugely
Can't
successful.
fucking
for
stand
us.
this.
I know.
No, I don't even.
Oh, that's
This is a
it.
work.
You guys figured out. You pulled that wool so far over about his eyes. It's
We're not even
crazy.
gay guys.
I know.
My wife's name is Terry.
Like I didn't know.
Kind of a gay name.
I have 2 kids.
I legit want to write a play that is like a director of great renown and success. I basically have to option your life. I want to write the movie. I like it. I like the play
About
of
what?
it. It's just one set on stage of what you described, of like watching your movie, but like trying, like, not really.
Well,
being,
I'm gonna like
You need
because
to
I've
use
had
that
so many
somehow.
varied. I've worn a lot of hats between the dancer, choreographer, TV personality, director, all the other shit. All the stuff that I've done. I have garnered a lot of stories, and I've been in a lot of rooms, and not as the featured player in many of them. And so there's been a lot of fly on the wall stuff that I've seen, and then there's been some stuff where I have been sort of the featured player, where and it's been fairly extraordinary, and I, sometimes people are like, "Are you going to write a book?" And I'm like, "Absolutely not. There's no freaking way." Because there's no way for it to not end up taking down some people.
Oh,
And I would never, because you can't have a story without conflict. There's no good story that happens without conflict.
Well, you have to either be
So-
willing to say. I guess for me, I think about that too, like whether or not down the road I would write like some sort of
I've
thing
witnessed
like
people being
that.
really terrible.
And yeah, that's the thing is it's like I would do it if but only if it all was a story I was trying to tell.
Yes.
Like if there was something of value to be learned from things, and that would be the only way that I think it will be worth it in a voyeuristic world like the one that we live in, where people just get off on knowing anything or being privy to information that they shouldn't. There is
what would I
some
gain from
schadenfreude.
it? What would I gain
exactly,
from it? I just
exactly.
like there's nothing. My legacy hopefully is going to be when I'm gone. What my good relationships were with people and the way that I treated people and hopefully, like it's not like I've always been great to everybody, but I try really, really hard. And I'm also and I want to be known as nice, I mean, again, it sounds
You wouldn't
soft, but-
necessarily be known as not nice if you told your story and the characters in it are ones that we know. It would just be you being, I guess, picky and
Snitches get
choosy about
snitches
like
get
what you
stitches.
share. And also,
Snitches get
there's
stitches.
such a thing called a fake name, sir.
This is the thing, because people like grill us all the time now ever since Tina Fey was like, authenticity is dangerous and expensive. They're like, you guys aren't as authentic anymore, are you? It's like, it's not about us being authentic or inauthentic to ourselves. It's that we know that if we say it out loud on a microphone, it
Yeah.
will be interpreted and likely misinterpreted by
Yeah.
people.
Yeah.
It will be like, there will be a game of telephone that happens where, I don't know, it's like the context doesn't really matter anymore. People just want like facts or tea or something along the lines of like, but like, which is fine, totally valid. But to equate that with like being inauthentic is always confusing to me. It's like, well, I don't know.
Well, it's like when an act of kindness is interpreted as manipulation. You know what I mean? But would you have really done, like, is that self-serving in some way? And I was like, well, I mean, I guess I get the hit of like, I did a nice thing, but I didn't do it for that hit. Like,
Right.
And
That's what I mean, though. If you want, if you ever had the desire to tell your story,
Yeah.
you should tell it because you have so many. You have a story to tell. Of course, you have stories to tell and to share, but you also have a story to tell, and you are such an amazing storyteller. But who knows? Maybe one day you will want to do your little Fablemans. You know what I
Right.
mean? Like, who knows?
There's
you would
things
be.
like for example, somebody got ahead of me and my sister, and they made the movie of my childhood, which was Sex Education, because
Really?
I had a sex therapist mother and an attorney dad, but we grew up here. And my sister and I always were like, we've got to put together, because my sister gave me my first job, my first directing job. My sister produced Wedding Planner.
Wow.
And nepotism. She couldn't actually. I'm such a nepo baby. I was about to direct my short film, which I made, and she sent me the script, and I read it, and I was like, oh, well, here are my thoughts on. She said, would you ever meet with the studio? I met with the studio. They hired me, and that's how that went. But they didn't hire me because of that. Anyway.
That's cool.
Yeah, and she and I had a deal at Disney for over a decade, and I love her. She's great. You guys would love her.
You're a good storyteller, is what Matt's saying. Like you should feel compelled to tell your story and not have the fear
and I have
of-
and there's like dark days that I would make very funny about, during like the shit that I got into during my heavy using and all of that was like it's dark
as it usually is.
Yeah,
using.
If it hadn't gotten dark, I'd still be doing it.
Well, we veered into I Don't Think So Honey territory, so why don't we just do that segment?
Let's do it.
This is our 60-second segment where we pop off, actually. We haven't really said it, and I Don't Think So Honey is just popping off.
That's really all it is.
if you get down to it, and I have one.
Okay. This is Matt Rogers. I don't think so. When his time starts now.
I Don't Think So Honey, Steven Spielberg.
Oh.
You think you're going to own June 12th,
No.
bitch? We're going to see you there. Disclosure Day, more like Stop That Train Day.
Yeah.
Steven Spielberg is doing a movie about aliens. Yeah, I saw that back in the 70s. You know what I haven't seen? Drag queens on a train. I haven't seen a drag queen president. I haven't seen RuPaul as President Judy Gagwell. Well, I may have seen it because I was in the Oval Office with her, the fake one, which guess guess what is in as much despair in this film
30
as
seconds.
any room is in Disclosure Day. Oh, what? The aliens are gonna come get us? Well, guess what? Guess who's gonna come get us and stop that train? I kind of forget the plot, actually. A storm. Stormagonza. Stormagonza.
15
Step to
seconds.
me, aliens. You could never handle a Stormagonza. This is really good stuff. Hey, Mr.
5
Spielberg, Mr. Director, take a seat and take a hike.
And that's 1 minute.
Dude, this is harder than I thought just because in real time, 1 minute is long.
So long.
It is so long.
Well, you always have like 20 seconds of gas, and then you're like, okay.
yeah.
Just pace it out, you know.
Yeah, yeah,
You'll
yeah,
do great.
yeah,
You'll do
yeah.
great. But you posted this. They're calling the Barbenheimer of it
STD, yeah.
is STD.
Stop that Disclosure,
Disclosure.
Day.
Yeah,
I love it.
STD day.
STD day.
STD Day.
Yeah.
I think you guys will be just fine.
I think we're gonna do great.
It would be nice. I know we're going to do okay. I think, or I don't know anything, but
Well,
I
do
think
they
we'll
ever
be
tell you
okay.
like, okay, here's the pre-sales
It's an
or whatever?
independent, so I don't know. It's like when there's the studio machine behind it, I really know what's going on.
Yeah,
But
yeah, yeah.
This, I
Tracking.
don't know yeah, all of that.
Oh, God.
But I've also like I've just given over to the gods on this one because we're also existing in a time where there is so much homophobia. Like, I don't know who's going to rise up.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
there's the heated rivalry of it all, and there's the...
It's gonna do amazing. It's gonna do amazing.
It'd be great if people will allow themselves to go and drag their straight friends. Because, by the way, straight people are laughing harder than the gay people. in
That's
Because
this
it's
theater.
funny.
It's crazy.
It's just
yeah.
funny.
Because it's funny
And it
and
doesn't punch at anyone particularly. And then...
Just one person.
Except for one person.
okay, are you ready to do your I Don't Think So, Honey?
I do, and I think this will cause a huge debate.
Okay.
Okay.
This is Bowen Yang's I Don't Think So, Honey. Time starts now.
I don't think so, honey. Apparently, you're not supposed to talk to people when they have wet hair. I was talking to a friend, and he was like, well, I saw this woman, but she was in the elevator, but her hair was wet, so I couldn't talk to her. I was like, is this a rule that, like, especially with longer-haired people, if their hair is wet, the etiquette is you don't engage in conversation with them? I'm losing my mind at the notion that there's an unspoken rule that I now have the bravery to say out loud that you're not supposed to talk
30
to
seconds?
someone when their hair is. I think if our hairs were wet, we'd be like, oh sure, Adam's hair is wet, Matt's hair is wet, Bowen's hair is wet. But let's say like if Anna's hair was wet, we're not supposed to like ask her
15
why
seconds.
it's wet. It's like, well, clearly she came out of the shower, but it's like. But apparently it's like disrespectful to engage in conversation with someone if their hair is wet
5
and slicked
seconds.
back. I don't try to invent these new rules. Etiquette is for squares. I don't want to talk about this.
And that's 1 minute.
You are
What?
so brave.
Who told you
you.
this?
You are
Why
so
did they say
brave.
it? And what was this?
my friend named Jesse, over dinner, he was just like, yeah, well, just this woman was... This woman at a film festival I'd seen like the night before, and then we were staying at the same hotel, and then the elevator doors opened up, and her hair was wet, so I didn't want to say hi.
Well, maybe. I don't think it's a thing where like it's like, oh, you can't talk to a woman with wet hair. I think he just felt. I don't want to.
No, because I think
Did the wetness of her hair create a thing that felt inappropriately intimate?
Have the women
Like
in
she'd
the
just
room
been-
ever heard of this?
Never heard of this once.
I think the people will come out from the shadows after this.
This is it. Yeah.
Don't talk to me when
know
my
what-
hair is wet.
You know what the problem is? He just let the genie out of the bottle.
Yeah, I know.
It's like,
now
the
women are
toothpaste
going to
is
be
now
like,
out.
yeah, you're
Toothpaste is
right.
out.
I don't want to be spoken to when my
The
hair is
toothpaste
wet.
is
Well,
out,
apparently it's
too.
like, I'm telling
Let
you.
us know in the comments down below.
I'm telling you, it's a thing. Apparently, like, oh, if someone has their hair wet, it's like you can't engage. You can't ask them.
Pools and beaches are going to be a nightmare this summer.
Yeah. With no one
Horrible.
talking to any of the women.
Thank God we don't hang out with any anyway. I don't know what character that was.
Okay, Adam, do you have one?
I do. Hold on. Let me just see, because I've done a couple.
Okay.
I'll just meld. I'm gonna
Meld.
free ball it. I'm gonna
gonna
sort of free
free
ball
ball
it.
it.
Go commando,
Like,
free ball.
This is commando a little bit.
Okay, this is Adam Shankman's I Don't Think So, Honey. His time starts now.
I don't think so, honey. People who give me side eye or puff out their chest when they see me living my life at the gym, dancing around. I am listening to Doja Cat.
Yes.
I am listening to Doechii. I am listening to New Madonna. I am like, I'm having the time of my life.
yes, you are.
I
I've seen
was
it.
once a dancer who danced for like Paula Abdul and Janet Jackson.
Professional.
And I lived my life back then, and that was the happiest I've ever been. I had no responsibilities, and it is a signifier of how happy I am. So if I'm in the gym and I have them bitches in my ear
You're
giving me
popping,
life,
locking,
and
and
I am
dropping.
popping, do not give me like the ew, or like
Grow
what's
up.
that gay doing, or thing like that. First of all, I don't really dance gay. I don't even know what dancing gay is. Well, I kind of know what dancing gay is,
you know
but
what that is.
I'm in there. I'm in there living. And you know what? Maybe I am choreographing some new piece of entertainment that you're about to consume.
Oh, please.
So
The
I don't
things he's
think so,
doing on that
honey.
floor, you're
I don't think so,
obsessed.
honey. You giving me side eye at the gym while I live my life.
100%. By the way, nothing I've ever done is side eye. I am always an appreciator.
There is a lot of peacocking and preening. And there is a lot of a very specific kind of influencer like body pride.
Right.
And it does feel replete with judgment.
Like
Horrible.
Like it's so first thought. Of course, like I want this male peacocking body fascism at like the Grove.
And-
I want it where you least expect it.
By the way,
I want it at
what
the
about
diner.
those guys who are like straight, but they're like into yoga and they're doing handstands and walking across the floor on their hands? And I give them their flowers.
Yeah.
Like,
course.
you do you, baby. Like,
Yeah.
I'm just standing right by my little Smith machine
Yep.
and I'm just bopping away. I'm just like little,
You're not taking up a lot of space.
No.
It's just
No.
you are.
I'm not doing
contained.
like across the floor or like.
You're not a Stormagonza.
You're not
No,
a
I am not a
Stormagonza.
Stormagonza.
It's you can use your body in whatever way you wish as long as it's like within
On
reason.
me.
Oh, God, this got so hot. It was sad, then it was hot. Then it was like, this is the best podcast ever.
In a sad, hot episode.
Yes.
Honestly, I hope to see your creations on Drag Race. Will you go back and do more? I feel like you
They have me, but I don't know. I told them that I wanted, speaking of a full circle moment, the last thing I did was Star Booty, the musical.
Yeah.
And I felt not happy with that one for me.
Oh.
And so I need a redemption.
You need a redemption. You're gonna get
Yeah.
a redemption.
So we'll see.
By the way, just to close the loop on that, they never did make that Star Booty movie, but it was offered to me that weekend, and then I found out on Monday. Never mind, because they wanted to be someone. They wanted to. It was so they asked me to write it as like an Austin Powers movie,
So fun.
and I did. And then they were never mind. Rue wants to do like it to be more like blaxploitation.
Yeah.
And then they go, but he still would love for you to write it. And I was like, I don't think I'm the person for this.
That would be tricky.
Yeah,
That would be tricky.
But that was 2019. Isn't
Wait a
that
minute.
crazy?
It's sitting somewhere.
Jeez
Yeah.
Someone's working on it,
Yeah, well,
maybe.
I just said geez Louise. That's how old I am. But
Yeah.
anyway,
I
but
say
that's
geez
not-
Louise.
You do?
Yeah, every
Oh,
now and
he's
then.
Who
Jeez
exactly
Louise
is
King.
Louise?
Doesn't matter.
Sing out, Louise.
That's who she is. So it's
Sing it.
another right back to gay pride.
No, it should be
Gypsy.
someone named Louisus Christ. I think it's Jesus's cousin.
Louisa's Christ.
Jeez and
Jesus'
Louise.
cousin Louisus. Jesus had a Luigi just like Mario. Louisus.
Louisus. Oh, let's Let's pitch that animated show.
I'm in for
the-
like.
for
I'm
Jesus
here.
and
I was here
Louisa's?
for it, and by the
Chick-fil-A
way,
network or whatever.
Yeah. I have some really fun ideas.
I
for
think we
this,
should.
yeah.
We would rock
For,
a
like-
Christian cartoon show.
I made when okay. So how about this? After Walk to Remember, they buried me. I never did one lick of press for Walk to Remember because I was a gay Jew, and
They're like,
Gesundheit.
this isn't going to play.
and they I didn't do any.
That's crazy.
And so they but when the movie came out and was a success, I got a letter from the head of the Crystal Cathedral.
What?
And he like so there was in the letter, it had something to do with thank you being for the new voice of Christianity. I was like,
Girl, this is like when I got a scholarship from the Mormon church in suburban Colorado.
it was I was looking around going like, this is comedy.
I've never seen anyone more Christian than you and more Mormon than you.
Me.
Yay.
Yay. Oh, look at that extension. Well, Stop That Train is out June 12th.
It sure
had
is.
It sure is.
time of my life with Adam, my first parasocial bestie.
Wow.
Oh. No, I'm really, really grateful for all that you have given me in terms of like you're just being authentic and doing what you're doing and having these conversations with people. And it's funny now because I can tell when they're going well now and when they're not going as well as you want them to be. But it's because I just know it's so the best.
Wait, I'm actually curious and I'm not going to cut it. But we're not going to respond. What's a time you didn't think it went well? And you can be honest.
Where I felt, it's not that it didn't go well. I'm sorry. It's where you guys were felt more tense, less free.
Sure.
When?
Yeah, go ahead.
I'll have to go back and remember. No. I will have to go back and remember because.
How did you think we were with Jennifer?
I thought you were fine.
We ended up having a great time because we were like, it was like a Sunday. It was like after an SNL.
Jennifer is a big presence,
didn't know what
then
to
she
expect.
turns into super like a girl.
I thought we immediately got her liking us and on our side, and she had an amazing time, and she even DM'd me after.
Great,
and no one ever DM'd
and she was genuinely like after the mics were off, she was like, that was so much fun.
Yeah.
It's just that about with Jennifer, there is so much authenticity, but there's been so much pain and
She
so
has to
much
protect
stuff,
herself.
and she's very. And it's important that she protects herself, and she always has. I liked listening to you guys talk to Nicole.
That was fun.
I love that. John Waters was fun, but it felt like very there was nothing. It's all good, like it's all great, but like with John, he's just like an older guy.
Can I tell you though, that was the first episode in years where I was like, well, I was very, very nervous throughout the entire time. Like I didn't feel that with Nicole Kidman. Didn't feel that with like more like our other like A-listers. But John Waters, that he's just someone who's so important.
There's just like certain people. Like, by the way, I would have the same fucking thing. Like it's not like I think it took me a while to get there today. I don't know. What am I going to say? What are we going to talk about? I'm generally
I thought this was a fabulous episode.
I'm generally pretty uncomfortable talking about myself. So it's like, it's the same thing as like watching. I don't tell anything about my personal life ever. So that's why I thought it was sort of a thing.
Yeah.
So
we're really happy that you shared that story because I think so many more people have a version of it than people know. It's one of those things that it's just
like
not sexy to talk about.
It's like being a sex worker.
Yes.
There's more of us are sex workers than media.
Yeah.
but
would like to be.
No, but there's but like, I'd heard you talk about it and I was like it's time. And I don't feel like I'm going to be like have to wear like I'm a poster boy for like conversion therapy.
No.
That because there was a version for a long time, I couldn't figure out how to tell the story without indicting my parents.
And 100%. And it took me a while to realize that is just another wave of pain that was caused and wrought by the person sort of creating the harm.
Yeah.
Our parents were just collateral damage.
Interestingly enough, I didn't get over that until I actually had a long sit down with my mom about it.
It
recently,
takes that. Yeah.
Recently.
Really?
It needs that.
And where I was like, can you tell me exactly what you were doing during this period? Because I've never gotten into what you actually thought was happening.
And your experience.
And your experience of it.
And she was lied to.
So there you go. She was very unhappy about that. So anyway, thank you guys.
We love you.
This has been amazing. Stop That Train this Friday. And we end every episode with a song.
Oh, yeah.
I'll always remember it was late afternoon.
Yeah.
It lasted forever and ended so soon. Yeah. You were all by yourself, staring up at a dark gray sky. I was changed in places no one will find. All your feelings so deep inside. Take it. Deep inside. Yes. Was there where I realized that forever was in your eyes. The moment I saw you cry.
Damn, that's a good
I love that song so fucking much. You can't see it, but you can feel it.
You can feel it.
I remember when they shot the video, I went to the video shoot and I was like, what is she? Because it was for Walk to Remember, and they had her in that like
Black
sexy
dress,
black
so
dress.
gorgeous.
So I was behind her, and I was like,
Serving.
what is happening?
She's
And I
Well,
was
she
so
went to
well,
heaven.
she went to
Yeah,
heaven.
well, and then I was like, well, in heaven, she's like, it's like she's a slut. Like
She was a
beautiful
diva
guy,
goddess
diva
slut in
goddess.
heaven.
And
Jamie.
then I was like,
Okay, we are going to use all this too, by the way. Bye.
Las Culturistas is a production by Will Ferrell's Big Money Players and iHeartRadio podcasts.
Created and hosted by Matt Rogers and Bowen Yang. Executive produced by Anna Hosnier and produced by Becca Ramos. Edited by Hot Dog Sandwich. And our music is by Henry Kapersky. You heard it, now see it.
Las Culturistas is now available with video episodes for free on the iHeart app.
Watch full episodes from start to finish, all on the free iHeart app.
Hear the voices you know. Now see the moments you missed.
Open the iHeartRadio app, search Las Culturistas, and click watch.
or tap.